Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier. The feature race at Aqueduct on Friday is the $100,000 La Verdad Stakes, race number 8 at the Big A. And if you're playing the Aqueduct Friday Carter Stakes, previews are presented by DRF Bet, so let's just go ahead and plug it. $200 free bet, no deposit required. drf.com/join, promo code FREEBET09. Let's take a look at this field of New York breds, and you're going to see some familiar names when we throw up the entry card. The number 6, Kazan, the number 2, Absolutely. They are very well acquainted with each other already.
Certainly are. That most recent run, the Garland of Roses, it was I don't want to call it a tale of two trips, but I think most people, including Charlie Baker, assumed that Absolutely would be the one coming from where Kazan essentially was, and Kazan in the past has shown some early foot where she can position herself. Instead, they flipped the script, and it was enough for Kazan to prevail.
And even if we say, well, okay, Absolutely, it didn't run to form, the race 2 starts back. The Iroquois, I think, was kind of run to form, where it was a very fast pace up front. Kazan got the jump on Absolutely going into the stretch and sort of charging into those fast fractions. And I think Absolutely just had a dream run at the back of the pack. Absolutely won by a half length that day, but I think a lot of handicappers, us included, left the Iroquois saying Kazan might be the better animal.
Yeah, 100%, no question about it. I think it's just one of those things where everything that you needed to happen, all the stars aligned for Absolutely, and I don't think that is indicative that she's necessarily more talented than Kazan. The problem is, and we've talked about it with Kazan, she's not necessarily the most reliable as far as, let's say, professionalism.
Although, last time out in the Garland of Roses, and it might have been simply because it was a wet track. And if you look at Kazan's lifetime record, 4 for 7 on a wet track, 2 for 10, good on fast, but she really likes a wet track. She changed leads on cue. Yeah. She came charging home in the stretch. It was the best I'd ever seen her look visually. 92 Beyer speed figure, good outside post position here. She is the horse to beat.
Strictly, no question about it. If you look at just figures alone, she lays over this field, and she's going to need some things to kind of go against her if she's going to lose in here. But again, at the same time, if you could tell me, and you and I talked about it, if you could guarantee me that we're going to get the Garland of Roses effort and professionalism from her, I don't think she loses. The problem is there's always that off chance, that thing in the back of your head that says she's going to probably pop back to her left lead at some point and get goofy. If she does that, she's no guarantee.
Because we've seen in the past, she's dropped decisions, short decisions, half length, head, etc. You could say if she was more professional, she might have won those races. Subplot for these two is always pace. Who's going to be close? Where are they going to be? It'll be interesting to see where Absolutely is after they didn't want her close to the pace last time out. The Timeform US Pace Projector will give us a little bit of a clearer picture, perhaps. And in this situation, they've got Absolutely in mid-pack, but Kazan in a very comfortable spot, considering that blue bar favoring horses on or near the early lead. She's second early on the projector.
Yeah, I think if Joe Rocco has her position there, she's in really, really good shape, and she'll be tough to beat.
Wonderment, however, is on the lead, and Wonderment was a pace presser most recently in the New York Stallion Series on November the 12th, but her Beyer speed figures have been in steep decline ever since she popped a 90 Beyer over a wet track in the Dancing Renee. It's gone 90, 80, 78, 73, 66. Even with that advantageous pace scenario, can she stop the slide?
I don't think so. And you know what, the good news for her, it sounds like it's going to be wet in New York on Friday. Maybe that moves her up some, but at the same time, I just look at the form, and at a certain point, you've got to look at it and go, she's just not where she needs to be right now to win a race like this.
Plus a wet track, good news for Kazan as well, and Absolutely runs well on wet tracks also. So does B Noteworthy, who's never been off the board from 6 tries on a wet surface. Winner over Fast Going last time out in the New York Stallion Series, beating Wonderment, and I think overcoming a little bit of a speed track in doing so. That was her career best Beyer performance. She likes Aqueduct. She's won half of her 14 starts. She's an interesting price horse. She's sharp.
Yeah, rarely do you see a 6-year-old finding career form at this point, but she just shows up, she runs her race. I thought that most recent run, it was all things considered, a pretty dream trip. She shot up the wood, but boy, the way that she extended down the lane, I thought it was very, very good. If it is wet, not a problem for her. The question is, now she gets the acid test. Can she hang with the Kazans and the Absolutlys of the world?
She's already grade 1 placed as a 2-year-old. Hasn't gotten much better as she's aged. Second last time out, but in a slow race at Parks. I just don't think her recent Beyer speed figures are competitive enough to compete with these horses.
Yeah, I agree with you. She's already at this point is just continuing to kind of, I don't want to say trend the wrong way, because this is kind of what she's been for a while now. She just hasn't taken a step forward.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the La Verdad Stakes, race number 8. You're going to go with the 4 Holiday Disguise. And my argument for Holiday Disguise would be, I think she's eventually going to be the best of these horses, but you've got to deal with a really long layoff. The good thing for you is you've got a master trainer in Linda Rice. in your corner.
Yeah, I was going to say, if it were anyone other than Linda or a handful of other folks, whether it's Todd or it's Chad off of a long, long layoff, I'd be much more concerned. There's also that little piece in the back of my head. This is the La Verdad. And you see the owner,
that's a very,
and the
very
trainer,
good point.
everyone. You can't tell me they don't want to win this race, and maybe she's not good enough at this point with the likes of Kazan and Absolutely. But I'm really concerned. The layoff certainly is a concern. I thought her run the Bowery was really, really strong. I thought the run 2 back at Belmont was strong. The concern is for me not only left the pace. If they don't go fast enough, is she going to have too much to do coming from? Well, I don't know if she's going to be dead last, but I think she's going to be toward the rear of the pack.
It's a good point. All good points concerning Holiday Disguise. I am a little bit concerned about the layoff, but you mentioned the Connections want to do well, obviously, in this race. The La Verdad. Well, I think we've seen the best already from Absolutely and Kazan, and I wouldn't be surprised if they run their best here. I don't think we've seen Holiday Disguise's best, and right now her races on the form are just as good as Absolutely and Kazan's, at least recent efforts. Holiday Disguise 5-2 on the line, but would you play her at that price?
Probably not, even though I think that's a fair number. Being greedy, I probably wouldn't, simply because I don't know that the pace is going to get hot enough up front for her to come with the run.
Kazan made me a believer last time out. Maybe she's going to sting me. A wet track helps her out. I like what I saw on the pace projector. She's just sharp right now, but really no price. You're going to go 4-6-2-3. I might try a 6-4 cold punch. Try to get Absolutely out of there. 6-4-2-3 for me in the $100,000 La Verdad Stakes. Again, if you're playing this Aqueduct Friday afternoon card from home, no better place than with DRF Bets. $200 free bet, no deposit required. drf.com/join. Please use the promo code FREEBET09. Approximate post time for the La Verdad, race number 8, 3:50 Eastern on Friday. Good luck.